I don't want to tell you a story what you will say straight away, that is a lie. I don't want to tell such stories. I have such stories. My name, Moshe Kraus, born in Uzhorod in Czechoslovakia. I used to go and sing services in all the world. They used to invite me for concerts and for services. I was very busy. Till last year, I made the last service for the Holocaust in the Parliament in Ottawa. And I said, that's it, look for somebody else. I can't do it more. I'm 93 years old. Thank you. I was born in Uzhorod, Czechoslovakia. It is the capital from Carpathen, because Czechoslovakia had a few capitals. The main capital was Prague. So I grew up like a child. I went to the schools. When I became 6, I went to the school. It was the law. Every child from 6 had to go to school. And I learned 2 languages. Because we had to learn 2 languages. We had 5 million Germans, so we had to learn Czech and German. You know, I learned both German languages. And when I became 9, all of a sudden I became very popular. I had a beautiful voice, and they invited me all Europe. We didn't know more than Europe. Who knew that America? There was no television, there was no radio, there was no telephone, there was no autobus, there was no cars, nothing. Who knew from America? We knew there is a country, America, but nobody knew what is going on there. But Europe, I traveled Europe as a child from 9 and gave concerts. Gave concerts for schools, for organizations. I made my father a good life, my father and mother. A good life. I brought home money. There was no banks. There was no checks. I came home with a lot of money, cash, and I gave it to my parents, and they sit down by the table to count how much it is. And I went outside to play with the children. When I became older, I began to think, to learn to sing. Okay, God gave me a nice voice, but I didn't know what to do, how to do. I did it normal, like I was born, but I knew I must learn. I got to know that in Germany is a singer, Josef Schmidt. He was from Czernowitz, Romania. And he came to Germany, and he became the best singer anyway in Europe, possibly in the world, I don't know. But in Europe, he was a fantastic tenor. And I liked his technique, and I got to know that his teacher was Professor Wolf from Vienna. I was 16 years old. I took my train. A train was already the international train. And I went from Czechoslovakia to Austria and came into Professor Wolf. Professor Wolf was in the middle from 2 students. He asked me what I want. I want to be a pupil of you. I can't take you because I am full. I begin 9 o'clock in the morning and I finish 9 o'clock at night. I can't take more. What can I do? It's no. It's no. When I already by the door, he says to me, "Excuse me, could you sing me something?" I said, "Okay." So I sat down to the piano. I gave him the key, and he began to play, and I began to sing. Oh, I sang for half a minute. He said to me, he stopped, "You will be here tomorrow 8 o'clock. Such a singer I never heard. You come to me tomorrow at 8 o'clock, and every day 8 o'clock. He said, Saturday I can't come, I'm Jewish. He says, I'm also Jewish, and I understand you, so Saturday you will not come. The Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you come every day 8 o'clock, and you will be my pupil from 8 till 9. And this I did some, I'm not sure, 5 or 6 months. But one day I'm getting up and I go to eat breakfast, and I pass by a synagogue, and the synagogue burns. That was the famous Kristallnacht. The Germans came in and burned all the synagogues. So when I have seen this, I never went back home. I straight away went to the train and took the train to Prague. I stay in Prague and don't know what to do. And I wasn't a stupid child. I was thinking I go to buy all the records from Schmidt, Joseph Schmidt, and I will try to sing like he sings. I try to copy him. And I was more or less a day working on the records and everything in German. I know all his songs. In a certain way, it saved my life. One of the questions is, why was 6 million Jews killed and I'm alive? Nobody has an answer. I have an answer. If I'm the only one between the millions, or possibly there is another one or two, I don't know. But I have an answer, and this is the answer. I became a copier of Joseph Schmidt. And I left Prague, I went to Budapest, and I became first chief cantor in Sziget, and then they stole me, and I became chief cantor in Budapest. And from Budapest, they took me to Bor. Bor was a city in Yugoslavia. There was a camp, and there we were a few hundred people, and we were digging coal to send to Germany. Because I wasn't a strong or tall man, so they never asked me to go to dig, and I was happy because it wouldn't be good for my voice. So I was pushing the wagon with coals to the train, and the other wagons used to come back. So we would go there and back, and this is what I did for 13 months. After 13 months, I got to know that transport goes back to Budapest. I wanted to go back to Budapest. So I had an officer with whom I was a little friendly. He liked my singing. So I asked him, can you put me in the transport? The transport is ready. Do me a favor. And it was wrong because they took out a man and the man was killed. I'm sorry for it. But they took out a man and they put me in, and we went to Budapest. in the road somewhere, I don't know where, it was somewhere in the middle of the night, everything was dark, stopped the car, and I was in the last wagon, so they took away the last wagon, and they put it to another car, to another transport, and we began to travel. We didn't know nothing. But we arrived in a place around 7 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock in the morning. We didn't have watches, nothing. Everything was taken away. So all of a sudden we hear, Bergen-Belsen, Bergen-Belsen, Bergen-Belsen. What is Bergen-Belsen? I never heard the name Bergen-Belsen. And nobody in the train, nobody knew where it is. But later, slowly, they opened the door and began to speak to the Germans, the capos, the Nazis. They told us this is Germany, a concentration camp for Jews. And I came in. The transport used to come every morning and bring 1,000 people, but there was never 1,000 people. There was always 800 people, 850 people, 900 people, and they used to come in the camp and catch people that shall be exactly because the Germans like Pünktlichkeit. They like perfect. It had to be perfect 1,000, not one less and not one more. So I came in this transport, what was very seldom, was 1,012 people. I fell in at 12. How I fell in at 12, I don't know. And they took me in the camp, and they gave me a bed. It was 3 beds in the Holland barrack. All the people were Holland Jews. Luckily, I could speak with them because they speak Flemish. And Flemish is a dialect from German. I speak German, so we understood each other. The second day came in 3 men from Warsaw, and they introduced themselves, and they said they go to sing for us Jewish songs. Very nice. We listened to Jewish songs. They sang very nice. Only the trouble was, they sang sad songs. I don't know if it will tell you something. A Yiddish mama. So a Jewish mother, when she dies, it is very sad. And people were crying. Other Eile, Eile, lama sabachthanu. God, why did you leave us? And you don't look after us. Look what is going on. And the people were crying. And I said to myself, it is very nice what they do, but why do they not sing happy songs to make them a little happy? And then I decided I began to sing. And I will go from barak to barak and sing. And this is what I did. I began to go from barak to sing. Again, a few days, 2 or 3 days, I'm going to go from one of the barracks where I did sing, and the couple, there was a couple by the door. He says to me, you had a very important listener. So who was this important listener? Oh, Kramer. Who was Kramer? In America they say Kramer. Kramer. Who was Kramer? Kramer is the commandant of the camp. And he's a colonel, Obersturmbannführer. That was the German title, Obersturmbannführer, a colonel. Very nice, what can I do? He liked it very much. Thank you. And I went back in my barrack. The next day comes a Nazi and calls my number. We didn't have names, we had numbers. Called my number. No, I understand a Nazi call, I must run. I ran from the end, because I was in the end. I ran to the door. I am the number. The commandant wants to see you. Okay, we were all in pajamas. Everything was taken, all the suits, everything was taken away from us. We had only a pajama, that's all. It was something to cover when we sleep, that's all. So So I am in the pyjama. I go in the car and go to the commandant. So we left the camp and we traveled. We traveled for 15, 20 minutes and we arrived in a fantastic home. And this is the home from Kramer. I went in, it was lunchtime, and he was sitting and eating lunch. And I'm standing there. He doesn't say to me nothing. I said in German, I said, good day. But he then never answered, nothing. And I was standing. All of a sudden, he gave me something to eat, what he left. Oh, I can't tell you what it meant to me, because there was a big trouble with eating. We didn't know what we eat. They gave us something, but it was terrible. But we were hungry, so you had to eat. He says to me, you know to sing German? Yes. What do you sing? I copy Joseph Smith. Joseph Smith, you copy? He was, although Joseph Smith was a Jew, but he was a Nazi, he was very excited. Joseph Smith, you copy? I said, yes. Very nice. Sing me something from Joseph Smith. Now, I know me to ideal. I knew he's not a normal man. Said, Herr Obersturmbannführer, Mr. Colonel, I am a copy to Schmidt. I'm not Schmidt. Sing. Okay. And I sing a German song. Ein Lied geht die Welt, one a lovely song. I sang it, and unbelievable, he cried. I couldn't believe that he can cry. And when I finished singing, Lügner! Oh, he goes to kill me. Lügner means liar. So, why do you call me Lügner? Why do you call me liar? You sing like Joseph Schmidt. Beautiful, beautiful. I love your singing, and I want you every Sunday to come to me to sing. And I went for 11 months every Sunday to sing for him. And the Nazis got to know this. They never let nobody touch me. I could walk anytime I wanted, and everybody who walked had to scream, latrine, latrine, toilet. Because if they didn't scream, they were shot. Yeah? I never screamed, nothing, they wouldn't touch me. And I think to this I remained alive. Zal schön kommen die Jule, zal schön kommen die Jule, zal schön kommen. Let already come the liberty. Dit was one song. En Elimelech is geworden, zeer vrijelijk. Vrijelijk is geworden, Elimelech. If the Rabbi Elimelech got happy. If he went happy, all the people went happy. This kind of songs I used to go from, I was very popular, and I told you we didn't have names. But I was the only one possible who they know to call Moshe the singer. They were very pleased that I go around and sing happy. I used to see a smile of her face. I was so happy. Moshe, you did a good thing. And go on and sing. And more, they opened for me. The women were in a different part. Nothing, nobody have seen a woman. But I'm the only one who have seen hundreds of women, and when they lead me in, they opened the camp, and they lead me into the women to sing for them. And I used to sing for a few hundred women for half an hour, 3/4 of an hour, once in a month, twice in a month. I used to sing for them. I was the only one who have seen a woman. They have never seen a woman, never. I was allowed, but not I was allowed. They lead me. They lead me to the woman to sing that nobody shall stop me. And they opened the doors because it was closed for to go out, and the other was closed for to go in. So they had to open 2 doors for me to go in with a few Nazis and sing for the woman. When they hanged him, I cried. He saved my life. And I can't forgive me till today why I cried, because a murder is for him a compliment. I haven't got for him a name. For him to kill a Jew was nice to kill a fly. I have never seen something like this. Unbelievable. And I can't forgive it to me till today why I cried. And if I tell the story, I cry. My father was unbelievable. He was burned. My mother burned. 32 uncles and aunts burned. All Hasidic Jews, 100%. Most of them were rabbis. And unbelievable, unbelievable. When I arrived in Johannesburg and I became the chief cantor of Johannesburg, is the second Saturday or the third Saturday, I don't remember. I didn't know English, so they brought a woman who speaks Yiddish that she shall greet me. And the woman greeted me in Yiddish, very nice. I was very happy. I'm sitting, and she passes by. I go to her and thank her, and I tell her how happy she made me with her speech. And she says to me, you know, you remind me of Moshe the singer in Bergen-Belsen. I was in Bergen-Belsen. I remember a man came to sing for us, and he sang like you, very similar. And I said to her, I am Moshe the singer. She fainted. They brought her back. She was crying. I was crying. The women were crying. She said, you are Moshe the singer. Yeah. She remembered she was in Bergen-Belsen, and she remembered I used to come and sing. And you remind me of Moshe the singer. You ask one of the questions, but all of the Holocaust people have the problem and ask the same question, and we have no answer. I ask this question every speaker what I heard, and they finish all with 2 words. Never again, and good night. And if I go up to him, excuse me, sir, and it was like Elie Wiesel, who is my pupil. He died 2 weeks ago. You see, he sang in my choir and sing it. I asked him also, and so I asked thousands of speakers. What shall I do? Give me an advice. What shall I do? It shall be never again. Nobody had an answer. That is one of the questions. Nobody has an answer. You have an answer? Nobody has an answer. And tonight I will have dreams from Bergen-Belsen. And it is not easy. When I tell the true stories, I mean, this is also true, but when I tell the real stories, I can't sleep. I can't sleep. I can't sleep.